Und alle anderen Vokale.
Y.
Yeah.
Oh, another book?
What's it this time? This is another manga. It's laying on top of a desk. This one is Manga for Morons.
The Tragedy
Of Hogspeak Academy. Huh. Wasn't
The Tragedy
of Hogspeak Academy mentioned in that other manga too? It's why Hogspeak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history.
Monopoly. Deswegen, sie sollten bauen. Damn you, Guybrush.
Sie hätten das Geld sicher anders verwenden wollen. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about that incident?
Well,
You know, the incident that is called
the Tragedy.
I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as
The Tragedy
of Hogspeak Academy. Die Tierstelle wird uns so hassen.
Ja. Ja. Wie gesagt, du kannst dir mit dem ganzen Zeit lassen, ne? Ist kein Stress. Kein Stress.
Wir nehmen das ja von gestern wieder aufgenommen. Auch gestern Fall 5, heute Fall 6.
Ja.
Mensch, sind wir gut. The story made heavy use of outdated, stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries.
Das Zeichenstil ist aber ganz cool.
What's written here is, as the name suggests, the tragedy of Hogspeak Academy occurred at Hogspeak Academy. No shit, Sherlock.
Ja, das ist ja, hey.
The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamukura.
War das nicht der Typ, der bei Funhouse, da war das so ein
Genau,
Bild hing?
der alte Sack auf
Ja.
dem Bild. Izuru Midoriya. Nee, Izuku heißt der, ne?
Esoterik. Genau.
Genau, Isoter.
Der Iso-Erik.
Izuru was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Hogspeak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope.
Aha.
To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who was known as the symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hogspeak Academy Student Council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru.
Oh, er hat die. Oh. Warte mal, war das?
Das war das Zimmer.
Das Zimmer, was.
Räume weiter, ja. Möchte ich sagen, dass es das sein soll.
Ja.
However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and concealed the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, oh god, that was Junko. It stoked the fires of Reserve Corps students who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And the uprising began. Yeah, that sounds like something Junko would do. And that heralded Hogspeak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hogspeak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Ist mal schön, wie sie die ganze Textbox damit füllen wollen.
Ja, ja, klar, ne? Das ist wie so ein Essay, ne? Die Anzahl der Wörter zählt.
Works cited, Danganronpa 0. I have heard of that. That is something that exists. We gotta read that someday. With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy.
It's more.
Yeah, but now it's even more.
What irony! For Jean is known as the ultimate to cause such a gruesome incident.
Ja, das ist ziemlich ironisch.
Erotik? Erotik hat nichts mit Ironie zu tun. Doch in deinem Fall schon. A talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold.
Nur halten Sie das Wechselgeld.
You should be lucky that you're incompetent.
Damn it! He always has to lead up to something offensive. He seriously pisses me off. But ultimate...
Sorry, we catch the Nagito.
Nagito mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. But for Izuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department.
Die sind schuld.
Here, it said that the reserve corps students in the reserve department began uprising. Then, what about me? Mein Augentalent haben. No, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that.
It's einfach.
Mein Augentalent haben.
Nah, that's not possible. Okay.
Anyway, I've learned about the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? Ist das nicht irgendwo beides das gleiche?
Grim Tales Ultimate Collection Edition.
Oh Gott, die Ultimate
Once you start, you can't stop. You have to play every single one of them.
What kind of incident was it?
You know, the kind I just said.
Incident. And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? Junko. This incident is really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more questions.
Get used to it.
The mysteries just keep piling up.
Mono, is here Monokuma? Good day, Mr. Monokuma.
I don't even care if I...
Miss someone.
Nee, wenn ich diese Stimme abrutsche, I don't fucking care
so.
anymore. Ist sowieso alles im Glitch. Welcome to Monday Night Roar!
Ding, ding, ding.
Nekomaru, bist du das? Einfach nur Minimaru, der einfach durch die ganzen Gänge brüllt.
Oh, ich seh ihn.
What the fuck is with this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a cooler or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already.
I've been found.
War ein gutes Versteck, muss man ihm lassen.
Ja.
Immerhin hat er, oh no. Hauptsache, die Tamagotchi funktioniert noch, weißt du?
Natürlich.
Die wichtigsten Features der Simulation müssen bleiben. I've seen this in movies before.
Oh,
It's
wait. Eine Sache, ne? Guck mal auf unser Level. Nice. Okay, continue.
I've seen this in movies before. It's a freezer for preserving dead bodies. At least that's what it looks like, but that's not possible, right? Keeping dead bodies in a high school biolab isn't something you should joke about. Looking at you, Toku, it just feels so forced. This idea should have been cancelled during development or something.
Oh, hey.
What? What am I thinking? It's a tarp! This looks like a plastic tarp. Why is this left out like this? Clean up after yourselves, will you?
Okay.
Aber nicht eins der Lichter ist an. Weder blau noch rot, ne? There's another manga just laying around here. This time the title is Manga for Morons. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history?
Oh Gott, wie oft wird das jetzt hier noch vorkommen?
I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident.
Monopoly.
The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? I wonder how many times I can say that without slipping. Just what was the incident really all about? It might turn out to be something lame, like the world ending. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hope that I was right. A story about creepily drawn characters who get involved in such horrifying incidents. Ist das eine Junji Ito Story?
Weiß nicht.
Sieht ein bisschen nach seinem Artwork aus, aber nur ganz entfernt.
Was hat denn der eigentlich so gemacht gehabt? Weil der Name sagt mir irgendwas.
Haufenweise Horrorzeug, Body Horror und sowas.
Okay, gut.
An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
Drink?
Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy. Of Hope's Peak Academy was simply the trigger.
Also,
Für Editier Shadow, ja. Der ist getriggert.
aber krass, ne? Es ist ein Manga, ne? Sobald er halt die Seite öffnet, ist er halt wie so eine Geburtstagskarte, ne? The Tragedy und dann spielt die Musik.
Oh Mann. At first, the uprising by the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes.
Meanwhile, the headmaster, boy, that escalated quickly.
The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community.
Internet hat doch keine Zukunft, Junge.
The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. But by then, it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and wanton destruction became their only goal. The strong butchered the weak killed the weakest among them, and soon the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear. As if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. That's just like real life for the last 30 years. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coups d'etats began occurring around the world, A war waged in the name of despair.
Tarts? Törtchen?
But
Coop the Tarts? Tarts?
no,
Törtchen?
Chaos,
Essensschlacht!
just according to Keikaku. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain. Just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. Oh, sorry. My German.
Careful, your major is showing.
How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization, the Lisa's Future Foundation, devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Peak Academy. Okay, also Junko. A group called Ultimate Despair.
Okay.
Is. Instead of using Hope's Peak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
Drink.
As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold.
Naja, weil du dich da immer noch drauf hältst.
Ach so! And it wasn't because I was cooling in this room. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
Drink?
This is definitely all made up. I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? Well, not that much. My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant.
Dead.
What's happened to them?
That'd be fine. Dead.
No way!
Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you? Bist du bekloppt oder was?
Who would enjoy reading something like this?
What?
Oh my, you don't like manga? A high school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy.
Okay.
Enough. What is this messed up manga?
I thought you obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you not to remember that, such despair. It's the Future Foundation's fault, though. Thanks to them stealing your high school memories, the incident that happened during the period has been completely removed from your brains.
This incident really happened, and I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible.
What are you saying?
How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real.
Hello.
Hello?
Ich liebe diese Zeile einfach.
Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world.
I see. So that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning.
My headmaster, where will this go to your grave? Well, where the world is in the world.
Was?
Popeye, bist du's? He's trying to make us feel despair toward the outside world so we'll want to stay on this island.
And always in the memory, he sounds like that.
But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. Perhaps? No, that's definitely it. Whether or not this incident really happened, what in the world is this ultimate despair group? If they are devoted to a certain student who guided Hopespeak Academy to its destruction, are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hopespeak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they were actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they were called Ultimates. Then, are the killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use. I'm going to freeze to death. I'm at my limit. I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room.
Ja, weißt du, währenddessen ist die ganze Zeit in dem Room, genau. Liest den Manga. Aha. Und dann irgendwo zu sein Hören. Alter, ist der nicht langsam mal kalt? Oh Scheiße, es ist so verdammt kalt!
So wie Ruffy.
Ja, einfach so wie Ruffy.
So kalt.
Ja.
Oh Mann.
Einfach voll die lange Leitung.
Phew, that was close. I nearly froze to death. So, where should I go next? Vielleicht das andere Klassenzimmer da noch?
Mal gucken. Da nicht. Oh. 5B.
No, I should ignore it. I'm just going to pretend I did not see him. Daher ist es der Versteckte.
Es war kein Versteckter.
Why, hello, Hajime. I hope you're doing pleasingly well. Are you pleasingly well? You're pleasingly well, right?
What are you doing here?
Asking you if you're pleasingly well.
No.
Well, there was another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth?
You should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place, but now Shadow has some reading to do.
Huh? Shit. A high school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots.
Hotspots?
Hotspots. Deswegen hast du kein Internet.
I am getting really fed up with you, with your babbling. Hurry up, what did you need to tell me?
It's about that key piece of information you've been waiting so long for. Surprise! It's about ultimate despair. I said it's about ultimate despair.
And I said,
Even though the term ultimate despair refers to a group these days, it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive.
Toko Fukawa. A high school girl?
Lady Junko Enoshima!
Yeah, close enough. Junko Enoshima.
As the former ultimate despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor. And created the ultimate despairs. Plural. There was one really horrible person in that group. Hold on a sec. I don't know what the ultimate despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some fucked up organization created by a high school girl.
Unbelievable.
Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it.
So basically, she rolled a natural 20 on charisma.
Basically. That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons?
Echelons.
Echelons
because
of
she
power.
was
Her connections were the main reason that incident became the tragedy in the first place.
So she even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralize the threat?
Then what was their purpose? What? Like I said, why did they cause that incident? That doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they'd do that without any purpose.
Hey,
It was Junko's and Inoshima's despair.
Eh?
For Junko Inoshima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Inoshima as a Junko Inoshima.
What are you saying?
I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Inoshima is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving. For her, everything is despair.
What the fuck?
With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruiting the ultimate despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really.
Weißt du, wenn da Talking steht, dann sagst du Taking. Wenn da Taking steht, sagst du Talking.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you were born stupid.
I don't want to say that, but yes, I am stupid. Sorry. Jetzt traue ich mich nicht mehr vorzulesen. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea had been slammed right into their minds. And so, the ultimate despairs who had been recruited become nothing more than Junko's limbs.
Do I have flashbacks of that hand?
Yep. Uh-oh. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else, was dedicated to Junko and Inoshima. Like believers making offers to their god. Like a mother providing food to their children. They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair. All in Junko Inoshima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation.
Also das wird
Destroyed
Nagito
the
in
bodies.
dieser Szene hatte. Alter.
And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something that they had to do.
There's no way something that crazy is possible.
Did you meet Nagito?
what?
Do you know about the final days of the reserve course during the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Also, where did the guitar come from?
Oh no, great and wise Monokuma, please enlighten me about the final days.
In other words,
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history.
Sie konnte die Character Sheets also hier durchschreiben. Hey, what do you mean final days? What happened to the reserve department?
Oh, they did.
of course.
They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so, the 3,375, 9,457, ich hätte das... Boah,
Oh, warum kann man nicht einheitliche Zahlen haben, ey, die vorgelesen werden?
Da werden sie doch. 2357 students.
Ja, ich hatte so gerade falsch andersrum vorgelesen, oder?
Ja, erst hast du 75 draus gemacht.
Ja, weil...
Diese Nummer. Students of the research department all committed mass suicide. Ooh.
Okay, how? How do you get mass suicide?
What'd you say?
All 2357 students? Oops, it wasn't all of them. One person was excluded.
One person was excluded, huh? Is that me?
Damn it.
I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate is there, Junko and Hiroshima. It doesn't scare me at all. I mean,
Bastard.
Junko and Hiroshima's already dead.
And you know that because...
Das würde mich jetzt auch mal interessieren.
Hey, look!
There's that bitch.
Aber woher weiß...
Hey.
Okay. Uff, das wird ja...
Fuyu, erzähl mal. Fuyu.
Fui,
komm
fui,
her.
fui, 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 fui.
Fui. Come on here, Fui. Is it true what you said, Fui? Junko Enoshima is really dead?
What? You didn't see? Wieso liegt sie doch irgendwo zermatscht oder was?
Oh,
It was a book called Manga for Morons, Killing School Life, in that a bloody
ja, da
classroom.
durften wir noch nicht rein.
Ja, da kommt ja noch nicht rein.
A bloody classroom. No, wait. What was that you said about the killing school life? Like the killings we were involved in, they were killings that happened at Hope's Peak Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. The Killing School Life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy.
Hey,
For a manga about a killing school life, it was drawn with a lot of silly image and dumb gags. According to that,
Ja doch bin ich.
the mastermind behind the failed killing school life was Junko Enoshima.
The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Enoshima is dead!
Or is she?
like,
It turns out that killing school life was part of that whole biggest, most awful, whatever incident.
Do not insult the tragedy.
Junko took away the memories of former students of Hope's Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other.
Former students of Hope's Peak Academy, and she took away their memories. That's just like us.
Apparently, the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. Tch, there's a limit to being a cruel asshole.
The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing?
so.
The students of Hope's Peak Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival, they were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair at all at once.
But that's fucked up.
But that messed up plan was stopped. Junko Enoshima failed. Junko lost to the students she placed in a trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life.
Like a bitch.
No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead.
Ja.
Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter. Junko Enoshima isn't alive anymore.
Then, who is our enemy? I can't think of anyone who would be our enemy. If Junko Inoshima's already dead, are the rest of the Ultimate Despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings we're involved in resemble that killing school life.
Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us to go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation.
No shit.
If the students from Hope Street Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to some fake.
But if this is really an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting to somewhere, just like the surveillance cameras during the killing school life? The skilling cool life.
The skilling cool life. The skilling cool life.
Man, Hachime, you totally know about that history, huh?
What? Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took your time to draw it.
What are you gonna do?
Oh well, I'll just raise the flag.
Flag? What do you mean raise the flag? What's going to happen if you do that?
Ooh, how exciting.
One step at a time. You're getting closer to clearing my character route.
You're not making sense again. This is not a video game.
Now then, I'll give you guys my all. I tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside. I raise them flags like crazy.
Yeah, go hoist the colors, motherfucker.
Okay, dann hoist du mal.
What a surprise! Do you want to hear about the ultimate basic?
Achso, no.